Welcome to another edition of the Pioneer Coaches Show. I'm Jason Pennington, joined by head football coach Ryan Munz. We'll look ahead to UW Lacrosse this weekend, and we'll look back at UW Eau Claire win. Coach Munz, Eau Claire game, not the greatest weather conditions. If somebody would have tuned in late to the live stream into the first quarter, you went through 3 timeouts because you had the win. Is that something that you looked and had a plan saying, hey, if we're in this situation, we're going to do it, or just kind of come up at that moment?
Yeah, no, you don't plan for that. You don't plan on using your 3 timeouts with 40 seconds left in the first quarter, but we were in that situation once upon a time before, and we lost the wind, and it ended up resulting in a score for them. So the thought process was, obviously, we got them down there. You got to put some pressure on them, go up 7-0, and then try to kick off with the wind. And so then they get the ball in the second half, and they have the win, but at least you're not putting them in a favorable field position. And our kicker's pretty good, so we'd like to not use all 3. We'd like to only use maybe 1 or 2 and punch the ball in a little earlier, but it ended up working out for us.
Yeah, that wind, it gusts up to 50 miles per hour, and the key to the game, probably what really separation, was 2 plays in the third quarter. The first was the block punt, and then three plays later, Dane Friday with the interception return for a touchdown. That was going into the wind. Getting up 14 or 21 or 14 points on, with 7 at the time. When you get up 14 on them and they're have the win, and then in the fourth quarter they're going against the win, that had to feel pretty good. And what did you see that allowed that block punt to occur?
Yeah, obviously those are huge, because you knew that we were going to do some ball control in the third quarter and try to get it to the fourth, and we had a really good fourth. But we thought their handling time was something that we could take advantage of. You look at the film, and the ball got outside of the cylinder, no different, and everyone talks about offensive football when that weather happens, but long snapping is hard to do in the wind. And so it took them out of the cylinder, and our guy was able to make a heck of a play and individual effort, and dipped and slipped and got the ball, and we were able to scoop and score it, and the rest is history.
Yeah, and then like I said, 3 plays later, Dane Friday had the pick and pick 6. Quietly, Dane Friday's really had an unbelievable season. He's second in the conference with 8 breakups. He recorded 2 picks against UW Eau Claire. Just talk about his growth from day one when he got on campus to now being one of your big leaders in that backfield, the defensive backfield.
Yeah, he's the real deal, man. I mean, so I was fortunate enough to recruit Dane out of high school, and we recruited him as a wide receiver. He gray shirted his first year, so he took that year to develop, and then he was a receiver coming in. And actually, the story of Dane is that Wartburg scrimmage, he ended up pulling his hamstring his freshman year. He was a starter as a freshman as a wide receiver, pulled his hamstring, sat out for about 4 to 6 weeks, and then when he came back, we were light at the cornerback position, and so we put him in, and a week later he's starting against Oshkosh. He's making some plays, and he's never left, right? And so, all year he's the guy that is the boundary corner, and he's been able to keep everyone at bay. And Stout picked on him a little bit, but he was able to hold up to the challenge, right? I mean, he went against an All-American receiver there, and didn't say he won every rep, but it was pretty 50-50. And so, his goal is to be a first-team All-Conference and to be an All-American, and he solidified some of that stuff last weekend.
Yeah, if you watch, the catches that he does give up, they're tough catches. They're in tight windows, so it's not that he's getting burnt or anything like that. It's just
mostly back shoulder fades.
Yeah,
it's hard, man.
That's sports. Sometimes you do everything right, and you still lose the battle. But for the most part, Dane's held his own. Let's move along. We got UW Lacrosse. You're heading up there on Saturday. You have a history. You coach Matt.
Yep.
You coach with Matt, and now you're opposing Matt as head coaches.
Yeah, sure. We played together. We carpooled together. I mean, we carpooled together for 3 years when he was a defensive line coach and a defensive coordinator here, right? And so we've had a lot of early mornings and late nights, and it's fun to go against someone that because you know them, right? Now, I think you can make the rivalry bigger than what it's supposed to be. He's got that ball club moving in the right direction, and they're going to be a pretty tough competition. But I also think he knows what we're going to bring to the table, and that's the fun part, is that mutual respect.
It's going to be a battle of strengths for both teams. UW Lacrosse comes in as the top rushing offense in the WIAC, and they're number 2 overall offensively. your team's coming in as the top pass defense in the WIC and number 2 overall on defense. UW Lacrosse, few sacks allowed with 10. UW-Platteville, most sacks, 26. So it's going to be a battle of strengths, and that's what's fun about the game of football is you can watch two strengths go at each other one-on-one.
Yeah, they run the ball really well. They really do, and so that's a concern of ours. I think it's like 70% run, 30% pass. So some of that stat is a little bit concerning for us, but that's what you want. I mean, we've seen this type of offense before, and we've seen this type of defense before, and that's every week in this conference. And it's going to, like you said, Pitt, I think come down to one play here or there. It notoriously always has with these guys in the past 5 or 6 years, and we don't expect anything different. And we both have something to play for. I mean, they have aspirations to play more games, and we have an opportunity and aspiration to do the same thing. So we're all fighting for the same stuff. So that's what's going to make this one pretty special.
Yeah, you can't ask for anything more to go into that last game, knowing that you have a possibility for 11th game with either the Isthmus Bowl. Mathematically not eliminated from winning the conference. Need a lot of help. Stevens Point needs to knock off Whitewater. You guys need to win. But on paper, Whitewater should win handily, but they don't play the game on paper. They got to go up there, and it's late, mid-November. You never know what the conditions are going to be on a Saturday afternoon in Wisconsin. So still some hope out there, but obviously the Isthmus Bowl is
there's a real deal. Yeah, I mean, through this whole season, it's been a lot of ups and downs, and since after the Oshkosh game, and I guess we addressed a few issues internally, and we challenged our guys, they've rose to the challenge. And I know the Stout game was the stub the toe, and everyone's going to look back at that, but there's a lot of little things that go into it. But since that game, we've been doing what we're supposed to do and playing at a different level. And so the biggest thing, that conversation for this week, is finish it. Finish it, get a bonus game. And if you would have told us at the beginning of the year that we'd be playing for a playoff spot, conference championship possibly, or Isthmus Bowl, no one would have believed you. They would have kept us out of this. And so we've already come pretty far with it, but like anything, you got an opportunity to do something more than what you've ever done and finish first or second in the conference when they picked you at 5th. We're here to prove that wrong. We're here to show them that, hey, we're here.
Yeah, regardless of what happens on Saturday, I'll tell you, it's been a lot of joy and a lot of fun to watch this year's program, and I really look forward to seeing you continue to develop this program into your own vision from what Coach Emmendorfer built that foundation on, and you tweaking and remodeling some things that wanted to be done, and I'm so excited for the future. I'm so excited for you, and I can't wait to see. Hopefully get to talk to you next week for a game.
Yeah.
Regardless, look forward to seeing you in 2023 after the season.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and we're gonna give her hell for the time that we have left, and then we'll figure that out after the dust settles for sure.
All right, appreciate the time. Best of luck up at Lacrosse this weekend. All right.
Thanks, Pid.
You're watching the Pioneer Coaches Show. I'm Jason Pington with head coach Ryan Munz. Pioneers and Eagles will kick off at 1 p.m. on Saturday on Let'sGoPioneers.com.
Stop him, 4th and goal from the 1. And it's going to be Priami taking it up the right side. He's in! Touchdown! Olsen back at the 25, waits for this one, and this one's blocked! It is blocked! It's picked up! And it's Doherty taking it in for 6! The Pioneers score on the blocked punt! Nick into the backfield now. They'll put him in as the second running back, 3rd and 3. And the Pioneers coming after it with the blitz on the outside. Inside pass. It is picked off. Dane Friday has it. He's to the 40, to the 35, stays on his feet. Around the corner to the 30, to the 20, to the 10. And he is in! Touchdown! Platteville! I don't know how many inches that is, but it's a lot. And now a handoff coming to Lawrence. Lawrence cuts, makes a great play back to the right, to the 30, to the 25, step on the man, to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, and a touchdown! Will Lawrence to the house from